Good morning. I was quite angry yesterday and tried to do a video or two about this issue, and I still have I have a hard time actually speaking about this because I feel betrayed. I feel like trust has been broken with the Muslim and Islamic world because I didn't want to actually have to know all of this or be wary of it or feel like um, my belief system, my ideology isn't respected. I thought it was. It seems like I was wrong. When I came back to Stockholm after 4 years of living somewhere else, I did notice that Stockholm has changed quite a lot. It's a lot of, what do you call it, hijabs, or there's a lot of like covering up. It's not many Swedish people in Stockholm. At least it wasn't when I was there. I didn't think about it that much. I noticed it. And that is not a problem for me. It wasn't like I felt unsafe. It was just different. Like all the Swedish people are gone and it's just very, I don't know, some other culture. And I mentioned this to one of my friends, and she said that, yeah, no, it has become that since you left Stockholm. Okay. Um, everybody's nice though. There's, I don't have any like issue with it. I just noticed. And when I were at the hospital with my accident and I was having a surgery, I noticed this too. Very many that had like their religion shown with the clothes they are wearing. Still, everybody nice, nothing like I didn't feel anything towards it. I just noticed it. I have been watching Europe for quite some time. I've heard about the boats that are coming towards France and Italy, and that they don't know what to do with the immigrants that are coming. And I know that England is struggling too with their immigration. Everybody has spoken about it like it is immigration. Like we are supposed to integrate, and we are supposed to, I don't know, it's the only thing that I've heard from politicians. And Magdalena Andersson, which is Socialdemokraterna, I think, in Sweden, still speaks about it, integration. And I just felt like something is really off here. I I can't really put my finger on it, and I can't name it either. I was so frustrated by it. So I started to do readings, which I published like on a post because I just couldn't figure this one out. And the first reading spoke about um, the moon card. Something is hidden. And I tried to figure it out. I couldn't. And then I went out on TikTok and um, it showed me, as it always does. Like, I want to know something. Can you please tell me what it is? And it was the Islamic and Muslim ideology, culture, call it what you want. And that they are using it as an immigration warfare against Europe. And that kind of clicked with me and makes so much sense because what Sweden and Europe are experiencing right now isn't immigration. It is a warfare because this type of culture want to implement it in Europe. I want it to be implemented in Europe. And the European countries doesn't seem to work at all with each other. Everybody's starting to fight and kind of trying to dump these people over to everybody else, which is exactly what they want. They want this conflict between the countries, and that I've heard, I don't know what, he was so well spoken. He spoke on like a conference or something. He was like Islamic, Muslim, or respected one, I guess. And he said that Europe is going to regret the day that they let in these many Muslims in Europe. And I think we are there, actually. I think Europe are like screaming right now. And when I kind of get the numbers, there are extreme amount of Muslims in Europe, and people outside of Europe are kind of wondering what in the world are Europe doing. Like that is not, that is not healthy. That is not, you're going to be teared down. There's going to be a lot of terrorists. This is what this man said. This is not my opinion. He knows what he's talking about. A lot of terrorists is going to come from Europe, and they're going to have a Swedish passport. Um, and I just felt so betrayed yesterday, like with the whole thing. And just that my trust in all of this is just completely gone. So when Sverigedemokraterna is going to rule Sweden, which is a possibility, I wouldn't be like foreign for them to just kick everybody out, as how I'm feeling right now, to be honest. I know it sounds extreme, no it sounds, but I feel so betrayed, and the trust in that I let you people in, um, and you're supposed to respect that I have my own ideology and I have my own way of living, that you are not supposed to strategically want to change with coming into this country and then demand that you are supposed to have free religion, and we are supposed to build a lot of mosques, and you are going to use it as a way of like forming extremist Islamic religion in my country, which is what they are doing. I'm not supposed to have to think about this. I'm not a politician. I'm supposed to be out there and living my life and just not have to worry about this at all. And here we are. And I, what in the world has our politician done up till now? I hear Magdalena Andersson, and that she says that we should integrate. And I'm just wondering, does she know what she's talking about at this point? Has she seen what Europe is struggling with? How I girl, I've only seen this once, but that usually is enough for me. Yesterday, a girl was on TikTok, and she was crying. She was in Paris, and she said, "There's just the most wonderful city out there," and I'm scared to go out because every time I go out by myself, I get harassed. I get like men. I don't know what she said. I get harassed, I think she said. And then it cut to another woman, an older woman, and she spoke about, yeah, Paris has an extreme large amount of Muslims in the city, and France has like 50% of the people that are in France prison are Muslims. And she spoke about it. And that is just, I don't really want to kind of be the person that have, you know what I mean? Like have that kind of a pre perception, like think I already know that you are a bad person because of this. But what these people as a collective actually have done is that they have made me believe so because of the mannerism and how they think, um, and how they kind of use the system in a way. Um, and it works. Europe is divided, everybody's fighting. We are losing illegal immigrants. We are feeling like my friends felt that, yeah, no, we can kick people out from Sweden and then they can go to another European country. I feel like, I just think that Europe should kind of have a border around itself and kick people out of Europe, because this is an immigration. This isn't what is supposed to be. This is deliberately trying to weaken our countries, our religions, even if I don't know if we have any in Sweden, to be honest, but our ideology and our way of living that we have fought so hard to get. And now these people come and sneakily, underhanded, they just, I have a really hard time speaking about this because I feel like deeply betrayed. Like deeply betrayed. Like all of you out. That is how I'm feeling now. And it's not because, it is because how they have acted and like shown absolutely no respect whatsoever towards the country they actually kind of came to. I it feels harsh, it feels extreme. That is my honest opinion, though. And I really don't want it. I just felt like I don't want Sverigedemokraterna ruling Sweden because with them comes a way of thinking that I don't stand for. However, they are probably the right people to kind of do something, to take action, to. And I did a reading of if Sweden actually did take action, how is this going to play out? And it was a lot of healing, and our obstacle is betrayal, like deep trust issues, um, and to kind of come back from that and form some kind of a peace with it all when you have done, yeah, we trusted you and you betrayed us. The Muslim world, the Islamic world outside of Europe would see it as actually wasn't that bad. It was like the man that spoke on TikTok yesterday, that was very like eloquently speaking about that Europe is going to regret letting this many Muslims into Europe. They're going to respect our decision. Some are going to feel left out. Some are going to obviously have a radical opinion about it. But overall, it just felt like, yeah, no, countries, people around, like outside of Europe, is going to understand. So I just feel like Sweden is going towards that direction, and I'm not for against it. to be completely honest. I just feel like um, the only thing that just comes is get out. Like, get out. I'm so like done. It feels like feel like a parent that let her teenager have the house and the car for the weekend, for the week, and they just was so irresponsible with it and just didn't respect like my rules or my property or my, you know, that is how I'm feeling. um, and that I should be quiet and that I should be, because Swedish people don't, we're not noisy at all. We are, when we feel hurt, we kind of detach and we go into solitude and we become quiet. Um, we are not the people that you will see go out there and create a lot of drama. So that also I feel just, and this culture just came in and took over the narrative deliberately, like with a strategy. That I think is like what hurts the most. No, we are going to make this country a Muslim one. Like, who do you think you are? For real, who do you think you are? And tell me that my channel obviously wouldn't exist if these people actually gets what they want. I wouldn't be able to speak my mind. Um, and I just get angry when I think about it. I get angry again now. Whew. I wouldn't do well in that kind of a culture. Dear Lord, I would, no, I wouldn't do well at all. Now I got angry again, so I'm going to stop speaking. But that is the feeling I kind of want to say today. Not going into any kind of religious talk, any kind of a facts, any kind of a, because I have absolutely no idea what that culture is about, what like the rules and all of it. I just know that they want to implement it on Sweden and Europe, and it has been like a strategic one. And Europe, doesn't do anything to stop it. They don't shut down the borders. They don't say no. A lot of these people actually doesn't need our help either. They just immigrated because they can, not because they need to. Um, they can use the system. No, someone has told them the system. This is how it works in Sweden. You can go there and then you like have a, I don't know, just easier to live, I guess, and then you can take advantage of the system, which weakens the system, obviously. So this was my little talk today. My former colleague, the one in that came from Africa, she, I wasn't particularly fond of her. It was a lot of drama with her, which I haven't um, like been around a lot of Muslim women. I have been around two, and both of them, it was a lot of drama and sneakiness, and these two ladies lied a lot. But that is pretty much my experience with it. I, this African woman, she changed her religion to Christianity, and I have no problem with that either. One day I was driving and she was in the passenger seat, and she spoke a lot about Bible studies, and I asked her, okay, but what have God taught you? She went from a Muslim ideology culture to Christianity. and she was like in love with God. Almost. So I asked her, "What has he taught you?" And she said, firstly, she said that no one has asked me that. Okay, but I'm asking you. And it was, the Christian way of thinking that we all know when you're born in Sweden, you have this already implemented in the way we are. We used to be very Christian, so this is like, for us, is so normal in a way, without being Christian, without going to church, without having a priest telling us all of this. It is like, yeah, obviously. She told me that the command is it 7 commands or something, and that was just like a complete wake up call for her. And I thought that was interesting. I was, "You have never thought about this before?" And she said, "No, in the Muslim world where I come from, in Africa, we are more like revenge. And if someone does something to you, you do it back. And it's a lot of fighting, and it's okay to lie, and it's okay to..." And I was just, okay, I've never heard that before. And she said that Christianity and like God and whatever made her kind of think differently. That the way they do in where she come from isn't that good. And that was her words. I never thought about it before. I have never thought about what Christianity actually has done, um, and how it affects people, because I'm born into it, and then we left it, and it's just implemented in the Swedish culture. But I thought that was interesting, and she left the Muslim religion because she thought it was extremely downgrading. Her words, not mine. Um, and that they treat each other quite poorly. Her words, not mine. But it made me think, it made me kind of understand something that is not something I actually think about every day. I guess it has to do with ideology and what we believe in. I think I'm done now talking about this. I feel kind of exhausted. Not bringing this up as a religious thing, but as like a personal thing, and what is going on in Europe right now.